Hi and welcome along everyone. Today you're going to look at a WC that flashes a little bit weird really. It kind of flashes but then it gives you this little thing at the end, and I'm going to show you how we can kind of sort this out. Okay, so I'll show you what it does first, see if yours does this. So I'm going to pull the flush. So, what the hell is that? You might say. Yeah, it's one of those interesting ones, isn't it? I'll take the lid off. And put down inside there, you'll see the trusty siphon is one of these very old type. If you've got this salt, you often get this kind of hangover lag. They call it a hangover lag when the flush goes. Best policy, the only cure is to really renew this siphon with a nice new Dudley twin flusher, and you'll find all your problems alleviated. Also with that you can save water, you can put it in save water position so you only flush half the flush or go for the maximum. The good thing with the Dudley one is you can split it in half as well, so you haven't got to take all the cistern off the pan to change it. Once it's fitted and you've done that change, you can then forevermore just split the actual siphon instead of taking the whole thing off the wall. But saying that, what I'm going to do is I have already done this job at a friend's house. So what I'm going to do now is, I know I've showed you this particular one, but this lady doesn't want this job done. She's quite happy with that run over. But what I'm going to do is take you to my friend's house where I've done his toilet system and change the siphon over. So we're going to clip over to that review, and so without further delay I'll take you to that one and show you exactly how to change the siphon for a new Dudley type. Okay, so without further ado, here we go. Hi everyone, it's Al. Today going to do a toilet cistern that's not flushing. If you've got this problem where nothing is happening, okay, the cistern's not flushing, it means that this little diddy here is broken. The siphon washer's probably gone, so that means you've got to take it out and do it. Now I would suggest if you do have to do this job that you change it with something like this, which is a Dudley Turbo, and with this type, once it's fitted you can just change the thing over in place. You will not have to take the cistern off the wall again. So this job is, I'm going to show you how to take it off the wall, change it for the Turbo 88, put it back, and from there on in you won't have to keep on taking the cistern off the wall whenever it goes. You can do it in situ. You don't even have to turn the water off with one of these. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the job now. Obviously first things first, if you've got a valve underneath, we have on this one, turn it off, or if not, turn the main off downstairs and get the water out. I've got one of these siphon killers here. I'm going to suck it out with it. It gets the siphon going and gets this cistern empty. So I'm going to get that going now, get the cistern empty, and I'll take you through the next step. And there you can see my siphon kit, siphoning the water out of the cistern. And you can see that the spout just goes inside there and it's sucking the water out. Very useful bit of kit if you're in a cheap plumbing shop somewhere, one of these cheap tool shops. Just a couple of quid, saves all the grief. Okay, the cistern is now empty, so now we've got to think about getting it off the wall, and as you can see we have some very rusty bolts here, I'm afraid, that we've got to get out. And also to get it off we need to undo these wing nuts underneath, and again very rusty. Good idea at this stage, give it a go with some spray, some WD-40 or something, and see if we can get anything moving. I very much doubt it because these are very, very rusty, but we'll give them a spray anyway. You never know your luck. Okay, right, we started on these bolts. I pulled one out a little bit of there. This is a plasterboard wall, so we've got plasterboard fixers in here. Best way, not an angle grinder, I've seen an angle grinder on these, a junior hacksaw, okay, so that has to be sawn through, and the same with that one over there, and probably the same with these wing nuts under there, but we'll get to those in a second. And as you can see, we're having to do this one the hard way, fortunately. Just take your time and keep going till you get through. And we're just going through the other side now, same thing, just keep going. That's our bolt sawn through. Next step is the connections. Alright, under your main there'll be a little bit of water there, keep a towel there to catch any dead water as it comes out until we've got it all. Undo that completely, and then we'll undo the overflow. That's the main off, so now it's just the overflow. Usually these are only finger tight, there's not normally much to them. Some of them can just grip them with grips and they'll come off easily. So you can see the pipe will easily pop out, and the main is now undone. So we're now at that stage where we're ready to lift the cistern off the wall. Right, okay, we're at that point where we're going to take the cistern off the wall. Okay, I'll leave the seat down just for now to show you. I've undone all the bolts now, sawn through the rusty connections and undone the pipes. So we're ready to pull off. It should easily come away like that, and then we'll have a room one. Now there'll be a bit of dead water in there, you can see that. The way to do it then, put the seat up and tip this bit of dead water out. Okay, and tip it into the pan without dropping the system. Okay, don't drop the system. Now when you've done that bit, there'll be a little bit in the siphon that will come out, like so. That little bit there, that's it. Tip it again, make sure you got it all, and again, and that's it. Then what I do is have something to lay down, and I lay it down like that on the floor, ready to take this out. Now, as you can see, these old connections, I've had to saw them through. They're all rusty and old, so you will need a little kit like that. It's a little cistern fitting kit to fit it on the back. So as well as your siphon, you're going to need one of these. Okay, I would always replace this as part of the job anyway, even if it is quite new, because you can't reuse these old seals. They have to be renewed. Alright, so without further ado, we'll undo that next. The next bit is to get this off. Okay, we're going to get this thing out now. Just get a nice pair of grips and get it on the nut there and get it undone. Okay, it'll be a bit tight because it's quite old. There you go, finally she's gone. Alright, it's going to be tight. It's just the way these things are. It's been in a few years. This one's been in a good 20-25 years, believe me. So it's quite an old one. Get it right out. And that's it, we've got a nut off. Pull it out. Okay. And there we have it. And there it is out now. So what we're going to do now is clean all this lot up now before we insert. Okay, well, next up is the siphon. We have our new one ready to rock and roll, and there'll be a washer to go on it, so make sure you put this on first. Okay, make sure it's on the siphon. Sorry about it, I'm doing it one-handed, so it's a little bit awkward for me, but make sure that washer's completely up on the back of the spigot. Okay, like so. Before you put it in the cistern, also make sure that the bottom's clean. I know there's little bits in there, but they're marked on the bottom of the system, but there's nothing that is going to sit on it. It's clean enough and makes a firm joint in that hole there with no rust in the way. So it's got to be cleaned away and make sure there's nothing there so we get a good seal, okay, before the siphon goes in. Okay, we're about to get in. Now a little trick I like to do is to hook the arm through first before dropping it through the hole there at the bottom. This is simply, I've found over the years it makes it easier. It's more difficult to get that on afterwards. You've got to take it all off. So I always tend to do that first. Hook the siphon on and then push the thing into the hole. Okay, we'll push it into the hole now, then make the nut up. Right, now another very important part is this plate and getting it right on the back of the cistern. Alright, so there's our siphon coming through the bottom of the cistern. This goes this way up, can you see that? It's beveled side up, so as that goes on, okay, you'll see that there's room to get our nuts on. Okay, on that side there and that side there. Alright, so make sure it's round the right way, and then we just get our nut basically on there and start to screw it up, which I'll do in a second. I'll put the camera down and we'll get this lined up, and our bolts will go on there and there, and I'll show you that right away in a second. You have to make sure this bit is level too, so it fits over the panholes dead right. Okay, make sure that's nice and square. Make sure your siphon is square in the system and it is flushing properly before you even do it up. That ensures that nothing is going to be in the way of anything. It's going to work fine. So when you do this up, make sure it's a bit of a handle, but you've got to make sure that this is square on this piece, and that also your siphon in the cistern is square. So if you hold it, this normally stays fairly put once it's got a grip. So then you're pretty much safe to do it up with a pair of grips. You don't have to go too mad with this, okay? Now if it does move, you've got to get it back square, so you must hold this square. If it's better to hold this rather than the siphon, then hold this, because this is more important, and get someone else to hold the siphon for you so it stays straight, if you've got someone else. Sometimes with plumbers we don't have anyone, we just have to make the best of it and do it until we can get it right. Okay, so we've got to make sure that's square. It's still a little bit out. I'm just going to undo it again a bit more. Just turn it, get it square. Okay, looking square on there, and then tighten it again. Okay, just a nip. It doesn't have to be too bad. Okay, that feels like it, and that should be it. So we'll move on next to the next bit, which is putting the bolts in here and there. You can see that they're going to go in there like that. Okay, and then it will be, our donut's going to go on there. Right, and before the cistern goes back, now's your chance to, say, clean this wall up, and definitely clean the bottom of this pan. Got to have a nice seal around here. This is your rubber bung seal. I've got a new one of these here. That's going to sit and be the bung, do the joint. Okay, so make sure this is nicely cleaned around here, and obviously if you want to clean the wall up, now's the time. Virtually ready to put the cistern on. A new washer always on the feed pipe. Okay, don't shrink out of old ones, get one on there, and then we know that's going to seal up okay. We've got our fixings ready now to go, and this one's a plasterboard wall, so we've got screw fixings that screw in the plasterboard. Okay, we're now at the stage. Don't forget your rubber donut here. Okay, there it is, and it's just pushed on over the flush pipe, so right up, okay, to the nut. You can take it off if you want and show you. There it is, and just push it right on. Okay, and make sure that she fits up over the nut as far as you go. Make sure your bolts are in. Okay, this is a bit of a fiddly bit because it kind of, sometimes you lose the bolts when you're trying to line it up, but don't worry about it, it happens all the time and it's a common thing. So next job on stage of this now is to get this thing sitting in the hole. So we're going to lift him up and just line up the bolts, and the whole thing drops in. Okay, I can see the bolts going in, and it looks like we're in. So that basically is the thing in. Once it's obviously going to be moving around, make sure she's sitting square. You can tell that by the old holes. Make sure she's kind of square in there, and then you'll have a couple of wing nuts on the floor and washers. Okay, rubber washer and the nut. They go on the bolts underneath. Okay, and then we do them up with the wing nut. So do them up squarely, loose at first, and then we square it up. Right, next stage, do your nut up on the cistern there. Get it started. It's easier to do it now than later. Now I've started the bolts up, as you can see. Make sure the thing's sitting square, and just tighten them up, and it will pull the cistern down. You'll feel it pulling down onto that rubber joint. Do the same on the other side. Okay, I'm around the other side now, but pull it down nice and square. You'll feel it pulling tight. Hold it. You can see it on the wall that it's pulling down nicely. So just keep pulling down, and you'll be there with it. Get it right down, nice and tight. Okay, you feel the rubber grommet pulling it down, and that should be it. That feels like about it to me. Yeah, you should be able to fit it because you won't be able to turn them anymore. You should just get to the stage where, yeah, and there's no need to put pliers on them or anything like that, or spanners. Just do it with your fingers. That now is it. All I've got to do now is put the screws through there, tighten these fittings up, and we should hopefully have a system that flushes again. Okay, once you've done your connections up and you're satisfied they're nice and tight, not too mad, okay, with the spanner on there, and we're ready to turn on. So we turn our valve on now and fill our cistern up. Okay, and we're filling her up now, and we'll get ready for our first flush. First flush now, we're filled. We should have a nice flush out of that now. That's the quick one. The Ron Giro flush mechanism, which will only flush it down so far. Let's have a check underneath, and it looks fine. Do have a good look on the bottom, make sure that there's no leaks down there, and it all looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Literally we just got to get our last couple of bolts through the holes here, okay, and here. I'm going to take this top off so I can get in there, screw it back, and then we're nearly finished.